Hi guys, welcome to another Divi Theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. We got a great fun one for you today. A few videos ago we did an image to text slide down on hover. Somebody asked us if we could do it diagonally coming in from the left corner. So I've got an image here. If I hover over, we got some content sliding in from the left hand corner there. When I take my mouse off, it's going to go back down there. Once it's up there, they can go over, they can click on the mouse, they can read the content, what have you. Great little feature to have on your site, really easy to do. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder. Okay, let's go down to where we want to work. I've got a section here, the blue tab. Inside the section, I've got a row, the green tab with 2 columns. I'm going to add a little blurb module to this. You can use any module you want. In fact, let's use a call to action like we did last time with a button in it. Like I say, use any module that you want there. There's my little call to action. By default, it's got a blue background. There's no button there at the moment. That's not going to show up till you put a link in for it. Obviously, put your title in there. Put what you want your button to say when it shows up there. And content here. I'm going to leave everything just as it is. Now let's make that button appear. Just below you'll find link. If you put something in the button link, I'm going to put a hashtag for a placeholder. Obviously you'd want to put a link in there to take your people somewhere. Always best practice if you're linking to your own site, leave it in the same window. If you're linking off site, open it in a new tab. That way your site's going to stay open. You've also got another option here to link the whole module somewhere. If you want them to click anywhere here, you can put a different link or the same link in there. Button 1 is just for the button itself there. Great. Well, background, I'm not going to change that. You've got the usual options there. You've got color, gradient, image, background video, background pattern or background mask. I'm going to keep mine as a simple blue background there, which will also act as a bit of a color overlay. If you want to change your button color or styles or anything like that, you can do that over in design. Easiest way is just to roll over the button, hit the little pencil, and you can do the same with the content and the header. If you hit the little pencil, it'll take you straight for the styles to the button. You can flip that to on and change the styles to your heart's content. I'm going to leave mine just as it is there. Okay, while we're over in design, here's something we're going to do to make life a little easier for us, especially if we want to recreate this with different amounts of text. So I'm going to go down to sizing now. I'm actually going to give this a fixed height. I'm going to give mine, say, 300 pixels, 300, and it puts the px for you. You may have seen it just grew a little bit on the bottom because it's now stretched that to 300 pixels. That's great. That's just what I want there. Now, if you're going to use this on tablet and mobile, and these effects will work on tablet and mobile, they'll just have to tap rather than hover. Roll over your height, hit the little mobile phone icon, and you can select a different value for tablet. I move this out of the way there. And really on tablet you want to just check the aspect ratio, make sure it's going to be showing enough of your image that you're going to want in there. And on phone we've got something like this. So if you need to change your height, you can do. I'm actually happy with both of those, they're fine there. Great, so we've given this a fixed height. I'm going to save this now. If you watch any of my Divi hover videos before, you know how this is going to work. The image that we see initially, like in this one over here, actually resides in the column of the row. So let's go put the image in that we actually want today. So I'm going to go into the green tab for the row. We're working on column 2 here, column 1, column 2. I'm going to go into that column, down to background. We've got all the same options there. We've always got the same options. Whether you're in a column, a row, or a section there, you can put all these different backgrounds in. I'm going to add an image, hit the little plus, upload whatever images you want. Perfect. Hit that upload button when you're ready. Now, of course, you can't see anything. Let's move this back over here. Of course, you can't see anything because the image is actually underneath this. Okay, so what they wanted was to see the image initially, but they wanted this to be pushed down to the left-hand side down here, all out the way. So let's do that. Now, while we're in the column, there's one other thing that we want to do. We want to set this to 300 as well, so we can push this around and hide any overflow, because if we push this down and to the left, it's going to look really messy over the top of here. So we don't want to see anything that's going to spit out of this column. So to fix that, we need to give this the same height, the 300, and hide any overflow. To do that, go over to your advanced. We're going to go down to custom CSS. There's the great freeform CSS tab we've been using recently. They just added. We're actually going to use the module elements for this today. I'm going to roll down to the main element, and I'm just going to say height 300 pixels. And if you need to, you can adjust the height on tablet and mobile here too by doing the same thing. Hover up over the dark writing, hit the little mobile phone icon, and you can have different values for tablet and mobile also. Great, so we've got our height in there. Let's go up. I'm going to close that down. Still under advanced. I'm going to go down to visibility. And we've got horizontal and vertical overflow. Change these both to hidden. Make sure you do this, or else, like I say, when you move things around, you're going to see them falling down, or wherever it is you move yours. We could have done that with a simple line of code, also overflow hidden, but we've got the option, so I thought I'd use it. Great. Well, let's save that. Back to the main row settings. We'll save that. Now let's start making the magic happen. So we want to push this thing down and to the left. So let's do that. I'm going to go into the actual module itself. I'm going to go over to design. I'm going to go down to spacing. Okay, initially I don't want to see any of this because I want it to be pushed down out of the way. So I'm going to give it a padding on the top of 100%. Basically, whatever the height of it is, I want it to be 100% of the height of it down. So it's pushed it down here. It's down here. Overflow's hidden so you can't see it. Great. And I want it to be pushed over to the right hand side. So I'm going to give it 100% width also on the right hand side. So you can't see it, but it's pushed it down 100% and it's pushed it across 100%. Now we've still got a blue field here, and we'll adjust that in a minute, because if I take that away, you'll see the image behind. Just to demonstrate, let's go back to our content now. Let's take a little bit of it behind so you can see. I'm going to click on the blue field. I'm going to take the opacity down just a little bit. We'll be adjusting this in a moment. As you can see, the image is behind it there. Great. Well, let's go back where we were, which was down in the spacing. And we can create a hover effect. And common to all Divi modules, again, if you hover over the dark writing, you'll see some icons appear. Hover over the thing you want to adjust, in my case the padding here. If there's an arrow there, there is. We can have two completely different settings for desktop when the mouse is not on it, and hover, obviously, when the mouse is on it. So on desktop, that's what I want to see without the background, and we'll adjust that in a minute. When they hover on it, I want to bring it all back. So when they hover on it, I'm going to change that padding to pretty similar as what it was. I'm going to give it sort of 50 pixels all around. Obviously adjust yours depending on your content. So make sure you clicked on the hover. I'm going to put 50 in. It'll put the pixels in. If it puts in percent, as we got percent before, just delete the percent and put in px. And I'm going to hit the chain, do the same for the bottom. And I'm going to do the same for left and right. Again, I'm going to put in 50. It's put in the pix that time. Hit the chain. And we're pretty much back to how we were. So when they hover on it, that's what they're going to see. When they're not hovering it, that's what they're going to see. So now let's change the timing and take away this background color until they hover on it. To do that, back to content, where our background was. Down to background, funnily enough. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to hover over the dark writing. We're going to hit the little arrow there to get up the hover state and desktop state. Desktop state, that right there. I don't want to see any color at all. So I'm going to click on the color. I'm going to bring the opacity slider, this variegated slider, all the way down to the bottom. So all we've got is the image itself. Great. Then when they hover back over it, I'm going to click on it and pull it back up to however you want. If you pull it up to sort of 70%, you can see most of the writing and still see a bit of that image behind. If you pull it up to 100%, all you're going to see is the blue there. And it's entirely up to you. I kind of like to see a little hint of the image behind just for a bit of drama there. but it's important that you can read the writing and button very clearly. Great, so all we need to do now is adjust the timing to how you want it. At the moment, by default, time Divi takes to go from desktop to hover state there is 300 milliseconds, which is just under a third of a second. It's pretty quick. If you're happy, that's it, you're done. But if you want to speed it up or slow it down, go over to your advanced, and again this is common to all modules. You will always find transitions down here over in the advanced tab. Transition duration, there's our default 300. Let's make it a bit slower, let's say 700, almost 3/4 of a second. Don't want any delay, want it to happen as soon as their mouse hits it. And the speed curve I like to use for my hover effects is ease in out. They're all pretty similar, but some really will work better in certain situations than others. But that's my go-to guy for my hover effects. So let's save this. Save our page changes down here. Save draft or publish if you're ready. And let's exit the visual builder. And there we have it. If we go on down, there's our nice little image there. If I hover over it, we've got that blur module sliding in from the left-hand corner there, which is just what they wanted. Obviously, reverse things if you want it coming from the right, reverse it. If you want it coming from the top right, just adjust your padding and have it coming from where you want. And of course, you can reverse this. You can have that there initially, and when they hover over it, you can have an image. Of course, that wouldn't work too well for a call to action button because you want them to be able to click on it, obviously. But if it's just text you've got there, that will work fine. So there you go. I hope that's answered that question. That is how to make your text or content slide in diagonally from the left-hand corner there. And although these hover effects really do work best on desktop sites, as I said earlier, they will work perfectly on tablet and mobile. It just happens that people will have to tap on things to make the hover effect actually happen. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you have any questions, pop them below the video. I'll do my best to answer them for you, or make a little demo video like this one. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.